Welcome everyone, you are listening to and perhaps watching Hot Sauce Sports. After a short week's hiatus, we have returned. I am your host, Piz Delariz. I am joined, not in studio, I was going to say in studio, it feels like forever since we've been in studio. I am joined out of studio and out of home by Terry Tam. How's it going, buddy?
How are ya? You know, it's good. I'm good here. We're just talking about getting back in the studio. I want to, and Peas can't. So answer, fire Peas.
Yeah, that's fine. That would be fine. Joining us, of course, is Graphite Supreme. Duke, how's it going, buddy?
What's up, boys?
How are all them graphs?
Chilling.
Nice. Eagle, how's the studio looking?
This is fine.
Yeah.
This is fine.
How is the studio without us, by the way?
It
must be full of dust.
You know what it is? It's
less
weird
dirty.
It's just like, oh, I'm gonna walk over to the studio because, by the way, spoilers for everyone, it's near my place. But yeah, then I kind of do the Charlie Brown kind of walk over with the fad music and then type in
Pokemon.
the code. Yeah, that's the one. And then just get in and there's no one here. Well,
really?
Turn on the lights and sit down and cry.
My favorite time
joins and then I'm me.
My favorite time was when was like the 20 minutes before you guys showed up when I was by myself.
My favorite time was actually I have a 6-mile walk from work to the studio, and it would take me about an hour and 10 minutes. And it was like the only time of my week where I had nothing to do, where all I had to do was just walk.
Yeah.
How's it still under construction, by the way?
Yeah, it's always under construction. So
Still
it's
under
not entirely
construction.
Peaceful.
Montreal is forever constructing.
But still, it was an enjoyable walk that's no longer a part of my weekly routine. Instead, I sit here and scroll through Twitter and see stories about how we are now removing Aunt Jemima and Uncle Ben. And I understand those are hurtful images, and they're the absolute least thing you can do.
And the Quaker Oats guy.
But I would say that these are all things that ultimately don't matter for a couple of reasons. One is that it distracts from the larger issue. Secondly, why are people eating Uncle Ben's and corn syrup? Both things are disgusting. Eat maple syrup. Make your own rice. It's not that hard to make rice. A child can do it.
And we are also joined by our graphicist, Duke.
I already did.
Yeah, you already did.
Okay.
Also, Uncle Ben just sells. I know they have Insta rights, but they also have bags of rice.
Yeah, I guess so.
But why is Uncle Ben bad? Like I understand Jemima is like a very specifically
It's a
on the
nose
nose.
when you call someone an Oi. That's Uncle.
It's Uncle Tom, yeah. I don't know why Uncle Ben is bad. Quaker Oats, I understand why, because of the whole
I'll Google it. Why
Quakers
is
murdering
And the Quakers' treatment of natives and so on.
Yeah. But I don't know. And the Aunt Jemima, I understand too, even though I love their pancake mix. It's best.
Just make your own pancakes. It's
No,
not
I do. I have
hard.
made. I know it's not, but it's just it's still good. It's very quick and easy to make.
By the way, pancakes
like your
low key the
mom.
worst breakfast.
Fuck off.
What? What's wrong with? It's a giant cookie.
I'll explain. So check this out, right? Eggos, the best thing ever, or just waffles,
No.
because when you
Guys, stop
when you,
that.
hold on.
Waffles or
Let me
the
just say.
waffles?
But when you put no, I get the Belgian ones. They're still Eggo.
Thick.
The Eggo makes up, but they're
You
big.
saved
But you
yourself.
put when you put the syrup inside, it's like cups of syrup. It's glorious.
Okay.
Whereas pancakes, it just seeps through. It
no,
becomes
no.
like all gooey.
No, that's because you're putting way too much syrup. If you put the right amount of syrup, it soaks in and it becomes a delicious treat.
Yeah.
Waffles are
First of
for
all-
people that think they're artsy,
What you gotta do is you
like
put
mom used to
Rufus
make-
from Gossip Girl.
My mom used to
a
make
little bit of
pancakes that
butter.
were a little bit of butter, exactly. A little bit of butter, and
Yeah,
then just
have
enough
to.
maple syrup. My mom made them just thick enough that you could
that's
actually
what she
roll
said.
them. So I would kind of put like a little bit of butter, then the maple syrup, it would all let it absorb, and then roll it into a cigar and kind of like eat it like that. They're so good.
That's
So, wait,
because
how do you eat it, Eagle? How do you eat it?
Yeah, I was just gonna say you like phallic objects in your mouth is why. But I actually like a little bit of butter. Ideally, compound butter. Like if you got like cinnamon butter, that's delicious.
Yeah.
Have your maple syrup on the side for dipping, and also a
Look
little
at this
bit of
fancy
creme
guy,
anglaise on top.
fucking dipping maple syrup.
Listen, man, I am what I am. I am what I am. You need creme anglaise on your pancakes.
Not always, but yeah, I see it. But yeah, waffles are the third best out of French toast, pancakes, and waffles.
What about just crepes?
Not
I mean, I
everybody
like
is,
crepes, but pancakes are better.
I don't understand crepes.
The best
So
time,
where
the best
where do
thing
you
with
rank it in
crepes,
the general pantheon of breakfasts when you consider eggs and bacon,
eggs
and
Benedict.
baked beans and
I
such?
don't like eggs Benedict actually.
No,
What?
terrible.
Eggs
Terrible.
Benny? You're not a fan?
No,
Terrible.
I don't like the hollandaise sauce. It just doesn't do anything.
The best crepe version is the ones you get like in Europe, in Italy, and Greece, where they make it like a cone and you eat it. You put like Nutella inside,
How do you eat it?
like this, and the white chocolate Nutella. You ever had that?
Yeah.
I can't eat it. I'm allergic to hazelnuts.
What?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can't eat it.
he said this before. You just seem to forget.
I seem
swear
to
you don't
forget.
listen.
I seem to forget. No, I listen. I just forget a lot. I forget the things
You
that
didn't
just don't
notice that
matter.
they introduced Duke to the audience.
I don't even know when you did it. You did me. You did Eagle, and then I was like, when did he do Duke?
Yeah,
I
you
asked
did.
him
You
how
actually
his
did
grabs
Duke
were.
first.
He did Duke first. Okay, that's what it was. I ADD'd for a second.
That was 3 minutes ago.
Yeah, but ADD is whatever. ADD has no time, Eagle.
What were we just talking about?
Breakfast.
Breakfast.
No, before breakfast.
We were talking about pancakes.
Before pancakes.
We took Quaker Oats and
Pre-breakfast.
Uncle Ben and Aunt Jemima.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, I can string it along. Like I can, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's
So
what she said. That's what she said.
I'm a big fan of all the breakfast foods, of course. Eagle, I agree with you on the hollandaise. I like it, but my asshole does not.
Yeah.
Speaking of assholes, Bubba Wilson found a noose in his garage this week. However, while that was obviously terrifying and obviously there's insane thunder going on right now. I don't know if you guys can hear that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know. You're here too.
Okay. So essentially, he found a noose in his garage, and given all the circumstances that have been happening, obviously with the Confederate flag crisis in NASCAR and all the riots and so on and so forth, people thought that the two may be linked. Now, it does appear the FBI has concluded that this wasn't an issue where he was being targeted because there was no way that NASCAR would have known in advance which garage would be assigned to Bubba Wilson. That sounds kind of lame as an excuse, however, because it seems like you would plan these things in advance.
But
I
also,
really hope.
Wasn't it said it's been there since October last year?
Because
2019.
Because it's the
What
rope,
was it
it's the
doing there to
garage
begin
rope.
with?
It's super weird. So I think what it was is it's the garage rope. It's a rope that you would pull in order to open a garage, I guess. Still, why would you wrap it as a noose? I have no idea. That being said, when I moved into my house, my clothing line had a noose on it. No idea why. And for the first year, I was convinced someone died in my backyard. But
it would have had to be disclosed.
The weirdest thing is, Duke, I was at your house this weekend, and the noose is still there.
No,
Nobody
it's cut.
is hanging
It's
from
cut.
it.
I cut it.
Oh, you cut it? Because I just saw the
Yeah,
top.
the wrapping is there. I just don't know what to do with this thing.
I really hope, because I feel like NASCAR has handled this whole situation extremely well, and it probably would have been the last organization that I thought would have handled this well for obvious reasons. But I just really hope this isn't like a whole another Jussie Smollett version. Not that Bubba put it there, but that somebody else might have put it there in order to get some attention.
So the worst part about this, of course, is people's reactions where they're saying that Bubba Wilson lied about the news.
Bubba Wallace.
Sorry?
Bubba Wallace.
Bubba Wallace. My mistake.
He's not even the one that found it. It's one of his crew members that found it. That's
Yeah,
the crazy
exactly.
thing,
That's what
right?
I'm saying. Yeah, it wasn't him.
Yeah, but that's the ploy, right? It's not him. It's someone else. Therefore, he's not responsible. Investigation, blah, blah, blah. I'm playing conspiracy theory, but I don't believe it.
I like it. I'm on the same page as you.
And,
Pease was
and
saying
then
something.
the other side of that conspiracy, of course, is Bubba Wallace. I was going to say Bubba Watson this time.
All the Bubbas.
All the Bubbas.
Who's
Bubba was in the
Watson?
race this week, on Monday, actually, and was leading and looked as though he would win, and then he ran out of gas. So a couple of things. Firstly, if he would have won, my God, the white supremacist conspiracy theorists would have gone insane.
Yes.
It would obviously
yes.
been. It's not the fact that he's one of the 50 best drivers in the world, because driving NASCAR is incredibly difficult. It's
Is he
not-
good though? Is he is he finished top often, or
He's
I don't
solid.
know.
He's not like one of the top contenders.
I don't know anything about NASCAR.
Yeah, I mean, he's not like Denny Hamlin, and don't forget, like NASCAR.
See, I know that name.
Yeah, they haven't had the practice runs and the ability to to just do all the things they normally do to prepare. So definitely we're seeing some odd results. We saw Hamlin win back-to-back races and then lose 2 races, and then we'll see Bubba Wallace coming close to winning this one. The thing is, you can't really be surprised when a professional wins, right? Because they're the top of their industry.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing is, I know NASCAR is more technical than it seems to be. There's immense teams that figure out when you're running out of fuel and so on. But how do you run out of fuel? Like Terry, you're an expert at running out of gas. So
man, 3 times in the last 3 months.
How is that even possible?
No, how many times have I run out of gas? When was the first time? It was in October.
Well, you did it one time. You were leaving the show and you got fucked.
Yeah, because I was and I didn't realize I was driving all the way to the West Island because you guys were late that day, so I was running late. So hence your fault. And then
you're right. I'm sorry I didn't tell you were gonna run out of gas. If only your car had a way to do that.
No, I have one of those the first car ever where it doesn't really tell you. You have to guess. And then it happened to me on the mountain, heading downtown, driving up the mountain. And then it happened to me again recently, but I realized I was running out of gas. I was a block away from the gas station. But it's because I have a massive SUV, so it's I don't know. I used to have a car where I kind of guessed it all the time.
I've had the situation where I roll into a gas station on fumes.
That happened to me
the
once.
Gas pedal's not doing a lot. That's the closest I've got to running out of gas.
I pulled in knowing that I was running out of gas. I pulled into a gas station and it run out of gas as I pulled up.
Nice. That's not so bad.
Shut up. Yeah.
At least you can get it there.
Yeah.
So Duke, what you're saying is NASCAR is forgiven.
Yeah, essentially.
Because Terry doesn't know how to.
We'll see. Duke, have you ever run out of gas?
It wasn't gas. My transmission broke. The thing that not the transmission. Anyway, the ignition. The ignition broke while I was uphill during rush hour on St. Laurent, and it was horrible. People spit at me. They were cussing me out on the
spit
on the
at
road.
you.
Yeah, a few people. There were 2 guys that spit on me.
That's fucked up.
Well, I once threw a Greek yogurt at a guy for cutting me off.
Why? Why are you racist against Greek people?
No, I was actually. I'm specifying it was Greek yogurt because it's the only type of yogurt I really love. That's how angry I was. I was willing to sacrifice my snack.
I got plenty of Greek yogurt for you right here.
Thanks,
also,
Terry.
it's
I appreciate
really
it.
blunt though, right? So it really gets a nice smack on.
Yeah. His face was priceless. It's seared into my memory. It was what the fuck face? It was awesome.
I mean, and maybe he was missing food that day, so
perhaps he could have licked his window later on. Major League Baseball looks to return after appearing to be the first league that was ready to return. They have done nothing but make us angry at baseball every single day. Dude, I'm tired of hearing that baseball is going to return, only to hear it's not going to return 2 days later.
I'm tired of hearing when is it going to return. Just when you decide to return, tell us.
So here's the thing. I don't know if it's being leaked to the league, to news sources like ESPN, just so that they have something to talk about.
100%.
Because it's never an actual agreement, right? It's the return to play plan being given to the players, and somehow news associations get this and put it out there. So my question is, who benefits from this being out there? It seems like well, the players think this is a crappy deal, so they're going to leak it. Well, now the teams think this is a crappy deal, so they leak it back to make the players look bad, and so on and so forth. It just looks like it's all being postured, and we're being used. They're playing our emotions to try and get more money out of each other.
Yeah, then the players are like, "Oh, tell us when and where. We're all ready. When and where." But why? You're trying to force their hand. I get it, but just leave us alone. Let us enjoy the time off.
Can I give you guys some odds? Some World Series odds?
Yeah, let's go.
Dodgers plus 375. I'll give you 3. Dodgers plus 375. There's also the Rays that are plus 1,800. And then there's the Yankees I find are plus 400. Not bad.
That's pretty good, actually. That's some pretty good odds for the Yankees, considering.
I mean, the Rays. the rumors of them coming to Montreal, right? I mean, let's say 5-10 years, whatever it is.
Cubs plus 2,200. I mean, I don't even understand those odds, but whatever.
You don't know how it works?
I don't. I just like reading it to you guys.
So
in order, you guys discuss it.
So whenever it's a plus, in order to win that 2,200 for the Cubs, you have to bet. So in order to win $100, you have to bet 2,200.
Mariners plus 50,000. How's that even a thing?
So you plus 50,000?
Yeah.
Or minus 50,000?
Plus 50,000.
Minus.
That doesn't sound right.
Yeah, it doesn't sound right.
According to the chart I'm looking at right now, it says plus. So I don't know. Maybe
what website is this
maybe
chart
it's
from?
for the
This is
100
Barstool.
you win 50. And
It's
that's what they're
Barstool.
representing it. Same concept here. They're just probably looking at
Just the other way around.
Yeah.
Anyway, so about the Rays, so they come to Montreal. I heard that they might try and fuck over fans here and not call them the Expos.
Well, it depends because I can't imagine a world where Bronfman buys a team and it's not called the Expos.
Yeah.
Well, why does it need to be called the Expos?
It depends who buys them.
It has to do, Duke. It has to.
Why?
Because the way they left, the ownership that they had screwed them over.
Okay.
It wasn't that they left on good authority, that they were really tanking. They got screwed over by fucking Samson and Loria, and there's Expo fans. We're not Montreal baseball fans. We're Expo.
He says they did everything possible. I think they did everything to make it look like they were almost trying.
Exactly. They did the bare minimum.
They tanked their TV deal. They tanked their stadium deal. They spent a bunch of stupid
on
money
no-namers,
on aging players.
Hideki Rabu and fucking and it needs
Graham
to be
Lloyd.
Graham Lloyd. It needs to be.
What else would they be called though? What else would they be called?
Exposed. That's it.
The Rays. They call the Montreal Rays because that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
Montreal Royals because that's Kansas City now.
It's true. What can we? Let's give them a name. The Montreal Poutines.
So can we buy
the
them?
cheese curds?
The Montreal hot sauce.
Montreal potholes.
I don't know about
Montreal
that.
construction.
The potholes. Yeah, it's a good one. I'm fucking down. We're getting season tickets though.
Montreal potheads.
I'm down 100%. The NBA looks like they're getting set to return. We actually missed a week where we didn't have a chance to talk about Kyrie Irving's call. Do you guys want to address that quickly before we move on to the NBA?
Oh, we haven't spoken about that. It's true, eh? So I wrote a little bit of a blog about that. So I actually agree with Stephen A. Smith on this, where I think that if you sit out, you go deaf, you go blind, you go silent, you're muted. Where you're going to be on the biggest stage, basketball is going to be the most watched sport if baseball doesn't come back, which even if it does come back, or most likely
if it does.
Yeah, it's going to be bigger than basketball, bigger than hockey, bigger than baseball. It's coming back before the NFL season. It's going to be huge. So where he's better off showing up, kneeling, protesting in any way he finds that's appropriate, instead of sitting at home on the couch tweeting about it when nobody's going to be looking at your Twitter feed.
Well, there's a couple things to consider. First of all, Kyrie is the worst possible messenger on this.
He's a flat earther.
This flat is telling us that this is the best way to protest, but he is also an elected official in the players union. So for all we know, this is a percentage of the players who are saying, hey, you know what, why don't we explore this option as a way to protest?
Yeah, and he might be.
Now, the problem is the voices that we're hearing are Dwight Howard, who, how can I put this delicately, is a lying douchebag, and
Kevin Durant, who has fake Twitter accounts.
Yeah,
he loves banging dudes.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, Duke.
Loves banging dudes just as women.
There's nothing wrong with that either.
I'm not saying that there's anything wrong. I'm just saying that's the rumor. And I'm also laughing.
The thing about not playing is they're heading into a collective bargaining situation where if they don't play, if they don't do something in good faith with the owners, it's going to be taken out on them, and they're going to lose money in the next collective bargaining agreement. So
for sure.
I think in terms of protecting their interests and protecting the interests of a population of players who is largely black, I think that the best thing would be to continue to build your brand as a brand that is has employee empowerment. Use that as a staple of this is how industry should be, period. Yeah. Not just professional sports, not just basketball. That I think would be the best way to move forward.
It would be the best way to move forward. I think that the only thing is he wasn't going to play.
Yeah.
Right. So he's doing this kind of like he's got FOMO. He's fear of missing out. And
or is it just to piss LeBron off?
It's probably to piss LeBron off because now he's got Kevin Durant in on him too. And Kevin Durant, I mean, as much as I love the guy, I actually don't like the guy. He's real. I don't feel that he's a leader in any way, forefront of anything. I feel like he's always a follower. He's completely insecure. And the way he called Kendrick Perkins a sellout, I mean, I just don't think that he knows enough about the subject in order to have his own opinion. And for Kevin Durant, it gets to a point where it's like, just have an original thought, don't jump on the backs of everybody else.
He is also the most skilled basketball player I've ever seen in my life.
He's one of the best. Yeah.
Like it's the things,
even though he wouldn't be
his size.
I would never take him on my team because I just don't like him.
Yeah. Yeah. But then what happens is he ends up on the Monstars.
Yeah.
Then what do you do? Then you got to guard that, Terry. So.
Well, I mean, then I just get Zion because he's a monster on his own.
Zion is significantly shorter than Kevin Durant.
But he's massive.
But so if the NBA's plan is to hold up, first of all, the players wanted the restart to be in Vegas. It looks like it's going to be in Orlando. For some reason, they're choosing Florida, the epicenter of disease in the United States, to set up this bubble. The other thing is that they're creating a scenario where there's 6 tiers of employees with different types of access, different types of ability to leave and come back, and so on and so forth. We have other concerns have been brought up. Guys like Pat Riley, Mike D'Antoni, will they be allowed to be at the facility given their age
and diseases?
Will teams moving forward not hire older coaches now because of this associated risk?
No, because there's an end to all of this, right?
Maybe.
Maybe it's true.
Maybe, but we're all hoping there is.
But we can't discriminate against people that are over the age of 62 because they might get sick.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
But so the other side of this is, I don't see how they can keep the quarantine. Like, just imagine if this was that playoff run with J.R. Smith and the Cavs.
Yeah,
you're gonna tell me J.R. Smith's not going out at night and answering every girl in his DMs?
Oh, for sure.
So true.
J.R. Smith is the best. J.R. Smith is the GOAT. To quote our intern.
He's most famous for his leaked DM. Would you like to get the pipe?
It's a good one. It's straight to the point. It's straight to the point. It sends a clear message. I think he should be the leader of the National Basketball Association, Players Association.
But again, so is the expectation truly that people will be keeping quarantine? Because I can see a scenario where within the first 2 weeks, a couple of key players get COVID on one team, and the other team says, "You know what? We're not playing this game. We're not playing a game if it's
no." What you do is you because the thing is they're gonna have all kinds of testing, so they're gonna be able to know if somebody has the symptoms or not. They're gonna be able to know if somebody has the disease or not. So if they test the team and one guy has it, then get rid of him. He's gone. He can't play.
I guess there's the idea of expanded rosters, and we might see some veteran, recently retired players.
Well, in the English Premier League, they do that. They expanded their roster. They have 5. They added 2 players on the bench, and they have 5 subs instead of 3. So there's little things like that you can do. You can make adjustments. But I just say do it, man. Do it, because if we don't do it now, it's just never going to end. When are you going to start again?
Yeah.
We need to change.
I also think maybe choosing Florida was a bad idea. But given
it really was.
But Florida's going to Florida.
At all times. That's one thing we learned during this crisis is Florida will always Florida.
Well, the UFC put on like 5 events in Florida, 3 events in Florida, and nobody got anything. One guy was sick.
We're talking about a lot less employees, though, Terry.
Oh no, I agree. But I'm just saying is in 3 events they had up to 3,000 people in that arena, and nobody got sick after the event. So
yeah, well,
they're in a bubble. Put them in a bubble.
Let's definitely hope for the best for this return. I had something else and I completely forgot it. So let's just head to rapid fire. Pew, 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 pew.
Yay, sound effects.
Pew, 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 pew.
So who's reading
Duke,
rapid
anytime
fire?
you'd like to read the rapid fire.
Yeah, anytime you want to start,
I feel like rapid fire always becomes the slowest segment, despite it
It's
being
almost like his camera's frozen, but it clearly isn't because I see
It's
him
almost like
moving.
we're on mute.
It's almost like he can't hear us.
He can't because he's muted us like a
All
jerk
right.
face.
Okay, so who's gonna do rapid fire? Eagle, do it.
The
Okay.
worst.
Let me go get this because I clearly didn't have it ready at this point. Can
Oh,
someone
you know,
stall for like
If
80
only
seconds?
if only Eagle was a
You guys-
producer.
You guys there?
Yes, we were rapid fire.
Hey!
Yeah, can you hear us?
Fucking
Yeah,
hell.
we went to you for rapid fire and you said nothing.
He's swearing, which means he can't hear us.
Rapid fire.
Nope, can't hear us. Eagle, it's all you. Filibuster.
I'm still scrolling for it.
It's on the Google Drive. It's on the
It's on the
spreadsheet.
God, now
Rapid
you-
fire. Hockey night in somewhere.
There we
All right,
go.
there you go.
Bruin reports that Dallas and Pittsburgh are. No, I'm
They
kidding.
are?
They're,
Say it again.
No longer being considered as destinations to complete the NHL season. Vegas, Vancouver, Toronto, LA and Chicago are the remaining teams.
Yeah, so people get they got excluded out of the hub contention. I don't understand what they need to prove to do in order to select a city. Just select a city.
Money. They need to give a lot of money, Terry. It's who's going to pay the most out of this, and how can they profit most from disease. But
Yeah, so bring them to LA. That's the most populated fucking cacahuete in the fucking country in the country. Chicago, I mean, whatever. Go to a buttfuck city like Columbus.
But what kind
Who
of
cares if
flex
people
would it-
from Columbus get sick?
what kind of flex would it be if the NBA didn't get Vegas, but the NHL did? How mad do you think the NBA Players Association would be with the NBA if they're watching hockey games that are taking place in Vegas and they're not in Vegas?
Well, if only the NBA had a team in Vegas. That's the thing.
True.
They don't have a team. But they have a football team though.
They do.
Next.
Last of reviews. The video game industry dropped a huge title this week in The Last of Us 2. Great fucking game. It's getting heavily criticized because of lesbians, transgenders, and weed smoking as well. So, what do you guys think?
I'm so confused. I have no idea what you just said.
It's a game that came out. The main character is a lesbian.
Yeah.
Another character in the game is transgender, and there's a lot of weed smoking.
Oh, and The Last of Us Part 2. I haven't played it yet. It's good.
It got critical reviews, perfect scores across
beautiful.
the board, masterpiece, and it's getting review bombed by people because it's like, oh, she's gay.
Yeah,
So it's a good game.
100%.
Basically.
It's a great game.
It's amazing, incredible.
Someone was gonna have to do it, right?
It always seems weird to me. It always seems weird to me when something comes out where a character happens to be female or gay or smokes weed and is like, "How dare you put your agenda in my face?" When they're not. The game isn't about the agenda. But if you're trying to keep all heroes to be heterosexual white males, isn't that a political agenda? So aren't you politicizing the game with your review rather than the game company who just made a character who happened to be gay?
It's more of just people don't want to hear other people's problems in front of their face. They don't want what they like to do to be affected by what other people want, what other people's messages should be. And it's mostly racist people that do that for some reason. I don't know what it is about something that racist people drink.
Well, because what you're saying, Terry, is for some reason you don't understand why someone who's intolerant is also intolerant.
Yeah, pretty much.
Next.
We got Heart of a Lioness. The Detroit Lions have announced that the owner, Martha Firestone Ford, that's a crazy name.
Yep. So it's the
super-
best porn name I've
super
ever heard
rich.
in my life. Yeah.
Super rich, is stepping down as principal partner. She will be succeeded by the daughter, Sheila Ford Happ. These people have terrible names.
So Firestone Forward is probably the best porn name I've ever heard in my life.
But also, did you know that cars married tires just to own all the shit? Like that was a prearranged marriage, right? Like there's no way.
Yeah, it's like Slytherin marrying, not Slytherin, the House of Stark marrying fucking the Boltons, you know?
Yeah, like this is how do we control the world of automobiles? Well, let's just marry off all the parts. Next, we'll have Mr. Muffler marrying Napa Auto Parts, And
Forge of Empires.
Honestly, I don't think it changes much because I don't.
What does it matter?
They have much of a hand in running the team in the first place. But I would say maybe Sheila should take over because she can't possibly do worse than the incompetence that has been the Detroit Lions in their entire existence.
So which one of you guys sent the article that said that the Detroit Lions have the best roster in the NFC North?
That was intern Alex.
Is that believable or not?
Well, they're in the NFC North, so I don't think that it's believable that they have the best roster in the AFC.
Well, there's a
No,
bunch of
I corrected myself.
that joined. There's a bunch of expatriates that joined the team, but I mean, I don't see them as being a top roster. But I mean, then again, what do we know right now?
I mean, does it matter? These are the kind of articles that
matter.
come out two months before the season.
I also think that the Lions are going to win.
Some shit. I think
the Lions are going to win the division.
Sorry?
Lions are going to win the division.
They might. I mean, Matt Stafford is not terrible. He's about the same as Matt Ryan, who went to a Super Bowl. So why not?
Why not?
Next.
All right. Well, next we got kneeling hero. Brett Favre says Colin Kaepernick will be remembered similar to Pat Tillman. It says he'll be given hero status.
It's tough for me to comment. Go Eagle. I'll think about what I want to say.
I think the history books will be nice to Kaepernick, but I don't think he'll be remembered as a hero in any way.
So
yeah,
I think
that's what I'm thinking too. Yeah.
If you actually see the whole clip where Brett Favre is saying, and it's remarkably lucid from Brett Favre because you'd figure he was a knee deep in whiskey by then.
Oh no, he's a big stoner now.
Yeah. Which why not?
Yeah.
But the thing is with regards to this, I think what he was specifically referring to is the fact that Pat Tillman made a sacrifice in the middle of his career, similar to Maya Moore in the WNBA, who was basically the best WNBA player who sacrificed her career for for injustice towards Black Americans. And he was saying similarly, Colin Kaepernick gave away years and years of his career to be able to play. Now, where it's different, of course, is Colin Kaepernick did not choose to take his career away. His career was taken from him for his beliefs.
Where it's also different is that Colin Kaepernick, yes, he was refused. He was what's the word? He was refused to work.
He was refused employment.
He was banned. So and unjustly in whatever way. Also, we can turn back and say that he didn't sacrifice much. He was a sacrificial lamb for the cause.
He was sacrificed by the President of the United States and a small part of the voting constituency that acts to be the loud majority when in reality they are the loud minority.
The only thing is that I can't really compare the two because one person risked his life where the other one was just refused to do something that he wanted to do, which goes against completely what the Americans' way of life is, and it also goes completely against what Pat Tillman actually fought for.
Well, yeah, one man was killed by American soldiers, and the other one was said to have disrespected American soldiers.
Yeah, which is really weird to me. That I mean, not weird, but it's good that Brett Favre made that link because it probably pissed off a lot of people that hated Kaepernick.
Yeah.
And Brett Favre was probably like the good old guy that everybody loved, and now they're like, fuck. How do I hate this guy now?
The guys who follow Brett Favre's Twitter, they're mostly not the guys who can support Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah. Right? I'm sure 25% of them at least have in their Twitter profile hashtag all lives matter. Probably.
And we're done.
Nope.
Great way to sign off the show.
No, there's another one.
What? Oh shit, there is.
It's a battle.
Chris D'Elia has been dropped from CAA after sexual misconduct allegations and apparently flirting with girls on Snapchat.
And I think he got dropped on Netflix too, and it's a shame because Chris D'Elia, one of my favorite comedians. It's sad, man, because he was caught DMing girls, knowing how old they were, being super creepy. Nothing has ever come out that he's done anything, but a lot of girls have come out with screenshots from their Snapchat with him kind of being a creep, like asking them to come over and like make out. And after they've told him what they're like, that they're 16 and 17 years old, even to the one I told you guys before, there's one where he's like, how old are you? She says, I'm 16. And he says, oh, you're too young for me. And that's great. he ends the conversation. No, lo and behold, the next night and nights after, he's DMing her saying, "Hey, what's going on? Oh, you're gonna be like that? Hey," like being very creepy about it, and it's sad, man. It's sad.
So, but the thing is, if you look at Chris D'Elia, does this surprise any of you? Like, his face is the picture in the dictionary if you look up sexual misconduct, and I feel like he's only ever played roles where he's like a sexual deviant and creep.
Well,
he looks like the homeless guy outside the liquor store asking me for change so he can pay for a hotel tonight. I'm like, nah, man.
He played
to have sex with young women.
He played on that show where he
he did this exactly, right?
Where he groomed young girls, but he would actually have sex with them and he wouldn't have sex with them in the show. He would take pictures of them.
So what you're saying is he was method acting on Snapchat.
Yeah, and he really pushed for that role.
Here's another thing. So I get that we live in the age of the internet, and maybe you should just be smart and realize that everything is being monitored and everything can be saved. Don't be remarkably stupid. Also, don't be gross. Just be a normal human being. Just go out to a bar. Ask a chick out. It's not hard. You're rich. It shouldn't be.
You can't go to bars now, man. They're closed.
No, but he's known. He's also known.
Girls to come over during quarantine. Dick.
He's also known to be like a big time ladies man, where he gets girls, and it doesn't really add up to me. But some people just have fucking demons, man, and it's stupid.
Well, you mean
stupid. This isn't a defense of him in any way, shape, or form. There's other celebrities that have also fallen into the trap that has been coming out recently. There's what's his name? Not Ron Burgundy, the other guy with the mustache.
Ron Jeremy.
Thank you. Who's been accused of sexually assaulting a bunch of women. There's the star. You're gonna have to help me with names here. The star from that '70s show.
Oh,
I don't know his name. I don't know his name, but Hot
Masterson.
Yeah,
Danny Masterson. That's it.
His name is Hot. Did you know that his brother is the oldest brother on Malcolm in the Middle?
I did not.
Cool.
They're brothers. I had no idea.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Recently, Justin Bieber was accused of sexual assault, which was proved false because he had the receipts of I was never at that hotel type of thing, whatever. So
yeah,
a bunch of stuff like that. But yeah, it seems to be.
But the Danny Masterson thing specifically,
coming out, but also it's kind of sad for the people that are stuck doing stupid shit.
Yeah.
The Danny Masterson thing specifically, these are old allegations in some cases, but there was actually 2 years of investigations that went into it before he was actually charged. So that does not just based on history and precedent, that doesn't look good for him. Ron Jeremy, I mean, again, it falls into Chris D'Elia camp that are you even surprised that Eastside Mario is illicitly betting chicks?
Eastside Mario,
obvious thing in the world.
If anything, I'm more surprised that there's not this many incidents happening in sports, because we hear of it every now and then, but there hasn't been that big rush of people saying oh, this happened, that happened, or whatever. That's actually what I'm more surprised of.
The Chris D'Elia thing happened 4 years ago.
Yeah,
and it's only coming out now, so just give it time. Somebody's gonna come out.
Yeah,
there was a whole thing in Montreal. A girl leaked a bunch of screenshots from the John Abbott football team, and how they were a bunch of girls, over 20 girls, talked about a handful of guys on how they sexually assaulted them from the John Abbott football team, to the point where they might even cancel the season.
All right.
Cancel the program.
It's a weird way to end the show, but Terry, thank you for joining me today. Duke, thanks for joining me amidst this thunderstorm. You and I are backs to windows that have shown the audience how terrible our weather is today in Montreal. Eagle, thank you for all you do. I miss you, you beautiful bastard, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow.
Take care, boys. That was fun.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
And remember, the hot sauce is a sauce.